What's going on, everyone? Daniel Rodriguez here. It's time to review Preacher Season 1, Episode 3, titled The Possibilities. Spoiler review. Make sure you have seen the episode. I know I am a few days late. I was busy all weekend with E3, and then Monday, and then Tuesday, doing all that stuff, man, for E3, reactions, and, whatever, all that stuff. Really fun, great E3, but now it's time to get back to the movies, get back to the TV shows. I just reviewed my Conjuring 2 review, today Warcraft, tomorrow should be Night Singing 2, and just a bunch of TV shows, man. Wayward Pines review coming, Scream, Aquarius, Last Ship is this Sunday, so all that stuff for you guys. Anyway, this is Preacher. I have my reaction should be up right now on the channel while you watch this, so it was a really, really good episode. Tulip really shined. I love how they showed more Tulip. She's a great actress. I believe her name is Ruth. I think that's her first name, Ruth or Roth. She's really great. Really, really, really great. I remember seeing her on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Dominic Cooper, of course, Jesse, and then Cassidy. All of them are great. They really shine. And I love how dark it is. I mean, AMC really, really, really picked up an awesome show. And still have not read the comics yet. Can't find a way to get my hands on the comics, but either way, let's get on to this. It should take me less than 2.5 minutes to recap the episode, and then I'll just give you the pros, cons, and final score. Thanks for, again, clicking on the video. If you want to see my other Preacher reviews, playlist is down below for my Preacher Season 1 reviews. I also review another AMC show called Feed the Beast with David Schwimmer and Jim Sturgis, so if you want to watch that, it's on the channel. Thanks again. Let's get to it. First off, Tulip talks to Danny. This is the beginning, and Danny's basically this girl, and Danny ends up passing this message on to this man in a hat, cowboy hat. I'm assuming we'll learn more about this guy later in the season, but that's the beginning. Bunny Man talks to his son. Bunny Man, of course, is Donnie, but he's now known as the Bunny Man. So Donnie talks to his son, saying, like, kind of has to say to his son, I hate your mom, but we love each other. You know, he got to keep it clean. Got to keep it clean for the boy. So anyway, the bus driver ends up forgetting the girl that, all the kids get on the bus, and he's like, "Who are you, little girl? I've never seen you before." And then it's just a whole weird pedophile, weird moment of him forgetting his mind. She's like, "Vanessa, you pedophile," whatever the girl says. And then Donnie comes on the bus, and everyone's like, "Bunny Man!" He's like, "Who said that? Who said it?" They're all like gonna be fight kids or some shit like that. Either way, he gets off that bus, man. So Cassidy sees Jesse, which was about 15 minutes into the show, and we don't see Jesse, and we're like, what the, like, where's the preacher? Well, where's the main man? He's all, like, silently sitting on a couch smoking a cigarette, and it was pretty awesome. So he ends up showing Cassidy his powers. He's like, hop, and he's hopping on one leg, and Cassidy's laughing. He's, fly for me, and he's like flying and hits the wall. He's like, "Are you okay, Cassidy? Imagine the possibilities you could do, Padre." And that's where the possibilities come in, man. Imagine what you can do with your powers, but will it be for good or evil? It's basically good or bad, Alright, so from there on, Tulip ends up getting a speeding ticket, or a cop pulls her over. She ends up talking her way out of it, which is really one of the highlights of the show, man. That part was really awesome, how she just had this great monologue, and she was just talking about her whole friend who is he's gone off his path, and she wants to get him on that path again, so very, very good writing for that part, honestly. The two agents that Cassidy chainsawed last week, they're alive. We'll find out later in the episode, but they're alive. And it turns out they have a bunch of heavy guns, heavy artillery, and they're going to go after Jesse at the church again. So after that, I wrote this in pencil, by the way, so excuse me for that. So Cassidy is burning bodies, and I love how he's just on this hat and everything, and he's all covered up in the sun. Which, again, I heard that Cassidy is one of those vampires that could walk in the sun, but they're staying true to the form of vampires where you can't be in the sun. So still, he's all covered up, and he looks pretty funny. He's burning the bodies. And he sees the two agents, those two government agents that have the heavy armor, driving in a van. It looks very mysterious. And he still didn't know that that was the two guys, but he drove back because they were going near the Jesse, his church, like going that direction. So that ends up happening there. Tulip gets Jesse to come with her. Because the whole thing of their past is a flashback is that this guy named Carlos left them behind during a heist or a robbery. And I love it because Jesse has like his hair from the comics. Like they put a wig on Dominic Cooper and it looked really awesome. I was like, again, I haven't read the comics from him, but I've seen photos and everything and cover art. And I was like, oh my god, they got the hair down, dude. I haven't even read Preacher comics. I'm all fangirling. Oh my god, they got the hair. It looked beautiful. But they have Carlos's address. They know his location. Let's go take him down. And Jesse, for one, says, all right, let's go. That's it. So he goes with Tulip. That's going down, man. So we find out Cassidy runs over the two agents at the church, and it's very dark now. It took a long time to get to that church, didn't it? So he runs them over, and he's like, bloody clones. And I never thought about that for once. I was thinking, how can they come back? Even from the promos, just like, they're clones. At least from what we thought they were. At least that was like, good explanation. They're clones. Yeah, that works. So after Cassidy runs them over, Jesse changes his mind because they're at this gas station. He goes into the bathroom and Donnie's there with a gun. He has the gun pointed and everything, and he's like, what now, Padre? He gets on his knees and he's like, squeal like a bunny, doing all that weird shit. And after that, Jesse uses his powers and he literally has Donnie put the gun in his mouth. But last moment, he just walks away. Which Donnie, of course, is frightened. He's scared. He doesn't know what just happened. He couldn't control his body. So, I don't think this is going to look good near the end. I mean, because people are going to be complaining to the preacher that he is a witch or working for the devil, something like that, where he has these powers, these gifted powers, that he almost used for bad. So that happens. He leaves Tulip because, he remembers he kept a promise to his dad to be a good man. So he ended up walking his way, which I don't know how he got back to where he's going. I mean, I'm pretty sure they drove a while. But either way, unless his truck was like a mile down. But if that's not the case, that's a long walk. And maybe somebody picked him up. I'm assuming he has a cell phone or something. So that happens. Anyway, Cassidy will work with the angels because the two government guys, at least what they said, we're angels. We're sent from heaven. If that's the truth, then Cassidy's going to be working with them to lure Jesse to get that possessive soul inside Jesse to get it out of him. The question is, will Jesse and Cassidy not be friends? Will this make them enemies if he finds out that Cassidy's working with the angels? And will this ruin their little friendship they have going on? Because I thought in the comics, Cassidy, I thought he was always like the main villain, like the Joker to the preacher, you know what I mean? Like he's the villain. But right now, I guess they're always friends, but will this tear them apart when he finds out that he's working with the two guys, the government agents? So Jesse holds this funeral for the man from the first episode that was like, open your heart, show your heart. Show her your heart. Basically that guy, one person showed up to the funeral and it was Jesse's sister. They really never explained it that well. Either way, it's either Jesse's sister or cousin. But what did I think about this episode overall, ladies and gentlemen? First off, let me give you the pros, the good stuff. First off, like I said earlier, Tulip, her scene was that scene was pretty awesome in the speeding ticket and stuff. It was just memorizing. I mean, you could literally you bought everything, and it was so true in what she was saying and how she was covering the real story and using an alternative story, yet it was still the same. It was so good. I mean, Tulip, I love how they showed more Tulip. Now, in the beginning, when like the first 5 minutes and it showed Tulip talking to Danny and all that, that was a very slow opening. I mean, it was in Houston and everything. It was pretty damn slow, and I'll be honest. I mean, I've seen a lot of slow shows, but that one was really like, it's going to be one of those episodes. This is going to be Preacher's first really slow, okay episode, and it ended up being a good episode, but the first half, that's the problem with this episode. Maybe the first 10, 15 minutes or 20 minutes where it actually took time to get into that episode. Like, I didn't instantly get into the episode the first 5, 10, 15 minutes. I was like, okay, stuff's happening. Even my reaction, you could tell, I'm just like, okay, cool, just seeing scenes until something big happens, something important makes me care more. So also the double agents. I remember the first episode, I was like, these guys are stupid, and they still were, because you didn't really know the mysterious what they were doing until the second episode, and now the third episode, it's slowly revealing itself. I understand it slowly reveals itself, but sometimes you just need a little explanation, a little hint at a time. And we find out that they're angels. If they are that, then that is really awesome. I like that whole storyline there, that they're angels and everything. It's pretty cool. Anyway, it was an intense episode for sure. I mean, definitely from Donnie almost shooting himself to just very dark moments that I literally thought he was going to pull the trigger. I literally thought that was going to happen. It was going to be even more dark than that, but it still was intense. Jesse, of course, and Cassidy, I mean, all of them are just so fantastic. Very comedic this episode, and very serious also. And I also love the flashbacks. I like the whole wig thing, and then, you know, she's like, Carlos, you know, yelling, and he just drives away. So I'm assuming we'll see Carlos next week or the week after that. But that's sort of where, you know, the season's kind of go. It's still trying to find its way to make its own show, to have its own feeling, and it's still working towards that. But it definitely has a solid story on where they're going. The only cons I have to say about this episode, really, it was slower the first half. Like I said, it's a very slow first half. It kind of bummed me out every now and then, you know. Just seeing Tulip in the flashbacks is kind of like, okay. I really like the modern day Tulip more than the flashback Tulip, you know what I mean? Like, just I don't know, just it's very boring, the back then Tulip. So, seeing all that, and honestly, they're teasing us with many more stories to come, and it's like, just stick with that main story right now of the two agents coming to get the, you know, just bring it on to that. But of course they have to make it last a few more episodes. So they still show Odin, Jackie Earl Haley. He's the guy that sits and, like, Donnie was trying to pick up his tray and he was like, it's fine, just leave it there. Like, he's all bald. He's that guy. Odin. I still don't know what his purpose is. Like, they keep on teasing him and teasing him. Yes, I understand. Week after week after week, we'll find out. But just a little explanation on why he's even in the show. What's his deal? Because, you know what I mean? Like, you can only tease us for so long until it just gets, you know, stale. Show us something. He's connected to Donnie. Maybe Donnie will go to him. But then again, Donnie doesn't seem like a really great person whatsoever. And I'm assuming Odin's a bad person. Why does Jackie Earl Haley always have to be the bad guy? But alright, that could work. I mean, I guess I gotta see. I'm just kind of spitballing here. Basically what I didn't like about the episode. And no explanation. That's the thing. Like some parts are not really explained that well. Even Arseface was really shoehorned in there in that one scene he was at the end. Technically, he didn't need to be in the episode. I love Arseface. He's a really cool character. But he was just shoehorned into the episode, it felt like. He didn't really have to show up. And he's a sheriff's son. And it just kind of felt a little shoehorned in every now and then with that. But overall, I mean, it was a really, really good episode. I'm going to give this episode, Season 1, Episode 3, 4, Preacher of the Possibilities, a solid B. Yeah, I mean, I definitely enjoyed the whole Jesse and Cassidy and him showing his powers and just from all that. But then again, Cassidy burning the bodies, like, I know you don't have to put so much explanation on it, but I know he said he had to go do something with the bodies, but still, you know what I mean? Like, give him more explanation, just a little bit more, because I'm lost every now and then. Not everybody has the same mind as everyone else. You have to explain just a tidbit. Other than that, it's a really good episode. It wasn't a great episode, but I'm glad it wasn't a slow, okay episode. It ended up turning out to be a good episode. Next week even looks better, man. It looks like it's going to be some action, and I'm very happy. I mean, Dominic Cooper has been awesome. Dominic Cooper is also in Warcraft. Again, I'll see that later today. We'll see how he does. I don't know how much of a role he has, but very awesome to see him in movies every now and then. So, thank you so much for watching this review for Preacher. I'll be seeing you next week for more this Sunday night, and make sure to leave a like, comment, and share the video with all your friends. If you enjoyed the review, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Until next time, bye-bye.